studies. I don't know yet. I'm currently undeclared. So.
Okay. Thank you for you all. Let's start our conversation by asking both Liz and Ryan to introduce themselves about not only their name, but what kind of major that they are in. Liz.
Yeah. So I am also not declared yet. Declared means that you have to give like a written contract saying like this is a certain subject that you're studying. So I'm not declared yet. Usually that happens during your sophomore year. And since I'm a first year, I just haven't gotten to that yet. But I'm pretty sure that I would like to major in psychology. And I might double major, which just means adding on another major. So I would graduate with 2. I might double major in philosophy as well.
Oh, you are
That's
going to
just what
be
I'm
both
thinking.
psychologist. You are going to be both psychologist and philosopher at the same time. Good for
Maybe.
you. Okay, Ryan, would you like some more?
Yeah, well, like Liz, I'm also undeclared at the moment. Because once you declare your subject, that's like where you specialize in college, essentially. It's a very important decision to make, and so I'm not declared yet. I will be probably next year, and I'm thinking about majoring in international relations with a concentration in the Middle East. So I might take Middle Eastern Studies at a double major. But again, it's still tentative. I have not figured it out yet, and so I'm still figuring it out.
Okay. Would you like to take Indonesian studies as a possibility?
Is that here?
None, but you can create your own if you'd like to.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Now I would like to take you both back to your high school experience. When you were at high school, what did you learn about the colleges?
About specifically Hobart and William Smith or about any college?
About any college, because before you make your decision, right? You need
Um,
different
I yeah.
kinds of colleges, etc. Before you. So my question to you is, what did you learn when you were at high school about universities?
I guess the main thing that they taught you at my high school that I went to, we started going on many tours of colleges since a very young age. So there might have been like specific days that they would bring younger kids to college campuses. And that's when I first started getting to look at colleges. My high school specifically focused on colleges that were very near to us because most of the kids from my high school went to colleges nearby. So I kind of had to do my own research to find colleges that were a little farther away.
Okay. How many colleges did you visit?
Oh my goodness, I probably visited around 10 colleges.
About 10 colleges.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of the 10 colleges, how many universities did you apply to? More
I
than
ended up
5?
I ended up applying to 4, and I applied early decision to Hobart and William Smith. So once I found out that I was coming here, then I had to withdraw my applications from the other colleges. So I never knew if I got into them or not.
Okay. Ryan, what did you learn about colleges, about universities when you were at high school still?
Well, much like Liz, I had to do a lot of my own research because I went to a public high school in Massachusetts, and so as a result, they didn't really offer much in the way of help. We had like a guidance program where these specialists in colleges would advise certain schools that might be good for you, as far as your GPA, as far as your interests, as far as what you could get into and things of that nature. And so they advise many schools, and one of them was Hobart Williams Smith, and so that's mainly why I ended up applying here as a safety school. And but then I came here, I loved the campus, I fell in love with it, and it's great, and I'm so glad I came here. So I'm very happy with my choice.
How many colleges did you visit?
I visited 3 colleges.
You visited only 3 colleges, and how many colleges did you apply to? Is this the only college that you applied to?
No, as a matter of fact, I applied to 7 colleges. So
Wow.
Oh, you applied to 7 colleges. Okay, very good.
visited
And
3,
then,
applied to 7, you know.
is it problematic for you after you know that you are accepted at different schools and then you have to make your decision?
It was a bit challenging. I had to weigh a couple of schools I really liked, but I came here. It was completely different from the other schools I had. It was more rural, more professor-based, smaller class sizes. I just really admired everything about it, and so it ended up being an easy choice. I don't regret it a bit.
Okay. And I guess there is no problem with Liz because she decided early, right?
Yeah, I
Exactly.
fell in love with the college when I visited it, and I knew that this was the school that I wanted to go to, so that's why I applied early decision. Because if you apply early decision, that means that even if you get into other colleges, then you have to say no. So it's basically telling them when you apply that this is the #1 school that you're thinking of going to.
Okay. Now, when you made your decision that Hobart and William Smith Colleges is the school that you are going to attend, what kind of consideration did you have? What are you looking for in a college?
I guess what I was really looking for was a small school with a small faculty to student ratio because I came from a small public school myself. I graduated with about 50 other students in my class, so I knew that I wanted to have those close relationships with my professors like I was used to having with my teachers in high school. So I didn't look at any large universities. I knew that that wouldn't be for me.
Okay. Maybe it is going to be useful for our friends in Indonesia, but what is regarded as small colleges and what is regarded as big universities?
Well, for example, Hobart and William Smith Colleges only has a little over 2,000 students, and the class sizes are usually not, at least I haven't experienced any class sizes that have been much larger than 20 students, but other large universities, they can have up to like 20,000 students, and they have large lecture halls for classrooms, and you don't really get to know the professor because you're just like one out of 100 other students.
Okay. Ryan, what considerations did you have before you make your decision?
I'm in much the same way as Liz. I like the school in a lot of ways because it had a small student to faculty ratio. It had small class sizes. It was in a kind of rural area where I felt that I wouldn't get swallowed by a big city. Because I came from a kind of a bit suburban rural area and outside of Boston in Massachusetts, and so I wanted kind of a small atmosphere where I could have kind of tiny classes where I can make friends and meet my professors, actually know them instead of having some guy on a stage where I never meet him. You know, because a lot of colleges, like Liz was saying, there's these big lecture halls, and people just professors just stand there and they speak. You never meet them, and you mostly learn like the associate professors and the lesser. So I'm very happy with Hobart because of the small class sizes and the professors that can actually get to know you. So.
Okay. Before you apply to colleges, did you have any clear idea on what you would like to major in?
I had a pretty clear idea, because in my high school I took a college level intro to psychology class. So I already had explored the field a little bit and I knew that it was something that I found very interesting. But when it comes to philosophy, I had no idea what philosophy was. I had never taken any philosophy classes before. And then I was placed in a philosophy class my first semester of college. And it wasn't really a traditional philosophy class, but I did very well in it and I liked what I was learning. So then I decided to take 2 other philosophy classes this semester, and I found out that I actually really like it. So it was a combination because I already knew that I liked psychology, but then I explored my options a little bit and found out that I also like philosophy.
Okay. Ryan?
For me, I had an idea of what I want to major in, but it turned out to be a misguided idea of what I want to major in. I really was interested in political science, and to an extent I still am. However, I decided over time that perhaps I enjoyed international relations a bit more, and there might be a better job market for internationals, maybe more things I want to do international relations as opposed to political science. And so it kind of developed over time as I took more classes and developed my education more.
Okay. When we are when we are talking about majoring and minoring, can you tell us about what majoring means?
So majoring is basically like the 1 or 2 subjects that you are most interested in and you take the most classes in. So some schools, I'm sure they have different major requirements, but I know for our school, usually you have to take at least 10 classes that are in your subject that you're majoring in order to graduate with that degree. And then minoring is kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It's a subject that you are usually interested in, and sometimes it will be something that's related to your major, and then sometimes it'll be something that's completely different. But you can take less classes in order to fulfill a minor. So usually that's around 6 for our college, I think. I don't know, Ryan, do you think the same way?
I don't know the exact size number, but I do know that you're right that a major is something that you're more involved in. A major is something you want to specialize in, and you take a lot of classes for that. You have a standardized amount of classes based on what college you're going to. And a minor is similar, only you decide you don't like it as much, perhaps, as you do your major. And so you'll take something that you think complements the major, something that you are interested in but you don't want to major in. So if you like history but you don't think there's any job market for history jobs, you might minor in history and major in something you think has better potential. You know? I think that's right.
Okay, let me go back to what you have been saying about majoring and minor. So before you come to the colleges, you have some idea about what kind of major that you are going to take. And in some cases, that's not really necessary, right? And when you come to the colleges, you have not declared yet at this point, right? What you are majoring in, but you know that you are going to major in the psychology and philosophy as the minor, right, Liz? and international relation for Ryan and political science. Now, at what point do you need to make the declaration?
I think that it's in the spring of your sophomore year, you have to declare your major, I'm pretty sure.
So when
Yeah,
you are on your second year, you need to make the declaration, and before that, you are free to have no major, to have no minor, basically. Ryan?
yeah, I think that's right. I think you have to decide on a major in your second half of your sophomore year. However, you can change it later on potentially, because to have a major, you just have to have a certain amount of classes in a certain area and to do well in them. Um, and so you can theoretically change it after that, but it's hard to do. So yeah, sophomore year is pretty much your deadline.
Before you make your decision, of course, you explore some possible majors and minor at the colleges, right? Do you know how many major and minors there are at the colleges? Or can you tell
I
us
think
about what what possible majors and minor that you can do at Hobart and William Smith colleges?
I think there's a little more than 40 majors and minors at our school. Most of the majors also can be counted as minors, and then there's a few extras, like I know health professions is one subject that you can minor in, but you can't major in.
Okay. Ryan, would you like to add?
Yeah, I think 4 is about right. I don't know the exact number,
Me
but
either.
there's all sorts of things you can major in, like everything from like Russian studies, women's theater, Latin, geoscience. There's all sorts of things you can major in. Anything you're interested in, really. And so there are wide potential possibilities of what you can major in, and a lot of academic diversity. It's a liberal arts college, so that's what they do in liberal arts colleges. You're supposed to have a diverse array of interests and come out a well-rounded academically individual.
Okay, is there any relationship between your interests, your major, and possible career in the future?
I think to some degree,
Ryan?
oh, sorry.
Oh, for my career? Is that right?
Yeah, is there any relationship between your interests, your major, and possible career in the future?
Oh, well, absolutely. That's the ideal anyways. The idea is that when you take a major, hopefully that's something that you're interested in and that can help you down the road. Because if you're majoring in something, that gives you more qualifications to speak in that subject in any particular job market you might be entering into. However, it's not a mandate. You can have a job in whatever field you want. I could major in international relations and become a banker, for example. Or who knows what happens. Maybe I make a connection down the road and I end up selling wine. Who knows? There's all sorts of things that can happen. And seriously, I mean, make connections. And the major is not everything. Ideally, it would be something from your major. That's what you learned about. That's what you're qualified to work in, right? So maybe Liz can add.
What career would you like to have in the future with your major in political science and international relations?
Oh, it's too early to think about that. I still need to work on that. Maybe I'll do some work for the as a foreign service officer or something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't really have a long-term plan at the moment.
Okay, a lot to think about. Okay, Liz.
I agree with what Ryan was saying. I think that generally most people have a job that comes from what they've studied and what they major in, because that is what you know the most about. You've taken the most classes on that subject. It's obviously something that interests you, so it usually leads to what you want to do for the rest of your life. But I've also heard of cases where people major in something and they get a job in something completely different, as Ryan was saying. So, yeah, I think it can go both ways, but usually your major is what you're interested in, and then you get a job from that's in that area.
Okay. Is there anything else to add from both of you? If not, I would like to open the forum for question and answer.
Sounds good.
I'm fine.
Okay. Who would like to ask question? Now, forum is for you guys.
Sudah tiga. Hai Liz.
Hi.
Hello.
We are from Indonesia. Indonesia.
Yay!
Welcome, guys. Welcome. They are from Tasikmalaya, and that Tasikmalaya is located in the western part of Indonesia. Ryan and Liz might visit you guys sometime in the future.
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
That would be an adventure for sure.
Okay, Arvita. Arvita, do you have any question for Liz or Ryan? Yes, Arvita.
Yeah.
Do you have any question?
Yeah, I just curious about the college life. Yeah, and your because in Indonesia maybe different have a different life with in your college life. Could you tell us the story about your maybe your organization, your friendship, or anything else?
Yeah, sure. Ryan, do you want to go or do you want me to go first? It doesn't matter.
Why don't you go first? I'm still
Okay.
formulating thoughts.
Okay. Um, so college life is generally, I would say, mostly about your independence. So it's the first time that you usually get to like venture off from your parents, and you kind of have to do everything on your own now. So you have to like manage like how much you're gonna sleep and what times you're going to eat and when you have to do your homework. So like you don't really have someone telling you to do that anymore. So I think that independence is a big thing about college life when you first start out. I mean, I have a small group of friends that I go out to lunch with, and we hang out on the weekends. And I'm also on the cross country team, so I also have my teammates that we race with and we have practice with every day. And so that gives me a lot of structure as well because I'm like always having to either go to practice or go to the weightlifting room or wake up at 5 o'clock on a Saturday morning to go on a bus ride somewhere to a cross country race. So
So sounds fun.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love college so far.
How about you,
Yeah.
Ryan?
Oh, well, I think Liz is exactly right. There definitely is a lot of independence involved in college. I think that it is what you make of it, really. It's like she was saying, for the first time, for most people, they're on their own, and so they have to structure their own lives, make their own fun, have their own friendships, things of that nature. And there's no one to help them along. You don't see your parents for months on end and everything, and so it's a big responsibility. It's a big independence, and I think for me, what helped for me to have structure in my life was some of the clubs I was in, like for example, the debate team. The debate team, we do a bunch of fun things. We go to different colleges and we discuss important issues, social, political, what have you. And you meet all these intelligent people from all over the world, and it's so much fun. And it's great. It's a very good experience for sure.
How about your parents? Did your parents have visited you in your college, or you just come home every month or every years?
Well,
Go ahead, Ryan.
sorry about that. For me, I just don't want you to go first every time. Sorry. I know it's a little pressure. So, for me, my family occasionally visits. It's a long drive. I live in Massachusetts, and I go to
Mm,
college in New York, and so
mm,
it's about like a 6-hour drive-ish. And so,
mm,
the result is that it's difficult for them to make that trip so often, and so they don't often do that trip. And so I see them usually on break. So I go home during the fall, during the winter, during the spring, and for the entire summer. So I mean, I miss my family, but I see them pretty frequently. I call them all the time, and they're not far away.
mm.
I'm a little bit closer. So I'm from Batavia, New York, and I know that Batavia has some history with Indonesia too, so that's pretty cool that they share the same name.
Yeah.
So I live an hour and a half away from college, so it's easier for me to go home if I need to for whatever reason. Or my parents have visited a couple of times actually. There was one time when my dad had to go. To a city like for business and he stopped by on the way because my college was on the way, so it's really nice. But I mean, I don't think that most people see their parents that often. Like Ryan was saying, it's usually during the breaks that we have. So we have a month in December, and then we have a short break in November and a short break in October, which is usually around a week. And we also have one spring break, which is also around a week. And that's when people usually they go home around then.
Sorry, can I arrange to come back tomorrow? Sorry. I'm in the middle of something. Sorry. I'm doing something for my professors. So. See you very soon.
Next question. Darren, do you have question?
Sorry about that.
Oh, Ryan, you didn't answer yet, yeah?
Oh, did I? I'm sorry, I had to leave for a moment. But I'm here now.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Ryan answered that question first.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Lala, do you have any question for Liz and Ryan?
Wait. I'm curious about social life in your daily activity, like maybe uh, apa? I think wait, wait. I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous, it's fine.
uh,
We are here. We are not running away. Don't be nervous. Just
not running
relax.
away. I'm just blank. I don't know how to say everything. Anything, not everything. Uh, is the movie film? Maybe we always watching a movie, kind of social life in that movie. Uh, is the same with your daily activity or not? Do you understand what I say?
Do we watch movies in our social life? Like,
Yeah.
do we watch movies, or is our social life like what you've seen in movies?
Uh, kind of your daily activity in your college life. Is is that same with your life or not? Kind of. Uh,
Okay,
wait, maybe.
let me guess the direction of Lala's question. You are asking if it is fun at the colleges. Is there any time that the students can have fun, like going to movies, maybe? Hmm?
I don't know, Ryan, do you want to start it off?
Sure. We do watch movies in college. We watch plenty of movies, whether it is using an online platform like Netflix or going to the theater. I know that some friends and I have gone to the movies before. There is one down the street, and so there are good movies available to watch, and I really enjoy college. I think it's been a really fun experience for me. Um, I don't know what it's like in the movies, but I guess I do see some similarities to movies I've seen about college, although we are a much smaller campus, and so perhaps there are some distinctions. But in general, it's been a fun experience, and in part because it's not quite like the stereotypical college, because it's so much smaller, and you walk down the street and you see people you know all the time, and so it's very enjoyable, and we do watch movies, and it's not totally stereotypical. I hope I answered your question.
Uh, okay, maybe another one from Kuala Lumpur.
Or maybe Liz, you answer the question first.
Sure. One of my favorite things to do on our campus is go to the lake, because our campus is actually about 1 minute away from a lake. So it's always nice to hang out down there, especially when it's a nice and sunny day. I love being outside. And I guess me and my friends, we usually we'll go out to get ice cream for fun. We'll watch movies in our dorm rooms. I think that college life, when you think about college life, usually you think of students having a lot of extra time to have fun. But I don't know, in my experiences, academics are such a large part of college life that a lot of your time is spent studying or in the classroom or working on homework. So there is some time to have fun, but a lot of it is academic focused as well.
Okay. Do you guys all live in the dormitory for your first semester for kind of that?
Do you live in the dorm, Liz? Or do you have to live in the dorm all of the time?
So your first year in college, you have to live in a dorm, but after that, at our specific college, you have a lot of different options. So next year, I'm actually going to be living in a theme house, which is just a regular house. Basically, it has 2 bathrooms in it. It has a full kitchen. There's a room that everybody can just sit and watch TV if they'd like, and then there's 6 bedrooms as well. So you have options. You can either live in the dorms, you can live in a house. Yeah.
What is theme house?
Yeah, what is your house?
A theme house is a house that is near campus, and everyone that is in that house is in there because they applied to have a common interest. So there's theme houses such as the sustainability house, where everybody is very focused on being environmental friendly. There is something called the Geneva 2020, which is what I'm in, and it's basically a community service house. So everybody that lives in the house is there for a common purpose and something that they're interested in.
So that is a facility from your college?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of
Yep.
that. Okay. How about you, Ryan?
Well, for me, I currently live in a dormitory. I live in what we call JPR, which stands for Jackson Potter Rees. It's 3 buildings. It's about like 3 stories tall, and so it's a lot of people, a lot of freshmen in particular, all cramped together in one building. And so we get these small rooms, but they're adequate. They're enough for me and my roommate. And we have small suites, as they're called, which are like small communal areas where everyone can gather. And it's all right. I enjoy it. It's been a good first year experience. But in the future, I will want to move into a more house-like situation, which is good because this campus offers that kind of an environment. we don't live in a big city where there's a lot of apartments, for example, but have houses available near the lake. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that next semester. And at the moment, I live in one of the dormitories, but in the future, I would like to move in something different.
Okay, great. Now, Ismail, you have any question?
Yeah, Brian has question. Yeah, I want to ask to Liz.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I am a multimedia student in now in IC University Kuala Lumpur, and I want to take a master program in film industries. Yeah, you know about New York Academy, Film Academy
The college for.
in New York.
Is it in New York City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. College
Oh,
for.
I did not look at any colleges in New York City myself, so I don't know much about them, to be honest.
Oh.
New York City is very far away from where our college is, so I don't know that much about it.
Okay. How about the scholarship in college in New York?
Sorry, what?
How about the scholarship
Apa lagi?
Scholarship?
in New York? Yeah, scholarship.
Scholarship.
Scholarship, funding, grant.
Oh, I think that scholarships depend on which university you go to, because I know that different colleges will give you different amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that that is very college specific, I believe.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, next. Busri, or this gentleman and young lady? Do you have any question, guys? For Ryan and Liz.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Uh, Miss Elizabeth, sorry. I want to ask you about when you're choosing your major or minor subject. Have you ever been confused to choose which one should you choose to be your subject, to be your minor or your major subject? Miss Elizabeth.
What
Can
you
you
mean
hear me?
decide which one?
Yes? Yeah. When you
Oh,
are
okay.
choosing your subject, have you ever confused when you are choosing your subject to be your major or minor subject? For example, yeah. For example, both of subject you are very interested about, or both of those subjects may need like like them. Hello, do you understand what I mean? Hello.
I was not very confused on what I wanted to choose for my major. I um, I had taken classes before in it, and I knew that it was something that I enjoyed, and then I think that that's what I wanted to have a career in. So everything kind of fit together. But
Okay,
I know
that's
that
good.
Ryan was saying that he um, changed his mind. So
Yeah, I can sympathize with that a lot more. For me, I did kind of struggle with it. Um, I did kind of feel like I enjoyed a lot of different classes, a lot of different interests. I like political science, I like international relations, English. I like a lot of different courses, history, and so for me it was conflicting. But at the end of the day, I do feel more confident in my idea that I want to major in international relations based on my own interest in it, based on how much I read about it, based on the job market for it in the future and what I want to do. Even though I haven't figured it out yet, but I do feel that though it was conflicting, at a certain point you have to make a decision, and that's what I'm going to do in the future. So.
Okay. That's all. Sorry, because we have bad connection here from the first start, so I don't really hear what you were saying from the first. Sorry. Okay, just all, Mr. Ryan and Miss. Thank you.
Okay, next, Zarin.
I'm sorry. You asked something? I'm sorry.
Zarin,
Yes.
do you have any question for Ryan or Liz? Oh, he's gone. Okay, do you have question? Or you okay, Zarin is back.
Mr. Salani, this is our students. They want to join with us, but they are too shy to speak with all of us. Can you just introduce your name? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, Mister.
Okay, good job.
Hello, Mister. My name is Lukman. I come from Indonesia. I am 15 years old now. My hobby is playing football.
Okay, what is the question? Lukman, do you have any question?
Questions? Indonesia dulu.
I don't have question.
Do you have any questions?
No,
Sometimes masih banyak.
I don't have question.
Okay, let's move to somebody else. Where is Zarin? Ismail, do you have another question for Ryan and Liz?
What ya? I think no. What? Okay.
Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back. Darin, you're back here. Darin, time is yours.
Yeah, I have several questions to Liz and Ryan about double major. What is double major for? Because I was wondering about double major. Is it for job guarantees or what?
Okay, thank you, Darin. Darin question was about double major. What is double majoring? And perhaps you can also talk about triple major.
No, I mean, what is double major for in the future?
What the double major is for? Okay, go ahead.
Is it for job guarantee?
Ryan, do you want to go or do you want me to?
I can do it. So what double major is when you're someone like me who is very conflicted, who doesn't know what they want to do, or if you do know what you want to do, and you believe that two majors in particular could complement one another, so then you might want to take a double major, which means that you major in not one but two subjects. So you have to take like what, 8 classes for a major, let's say. I don't know what it is. But you take 8 classes in, let's say I double major in international relations and Middle Eastern studies. I would take 8 classes or whatever it is in international relations and like 8 classes in Middle Eastern studies. And so what that would mean is I get a well-rounded understanding of both of them, and so I can utilize either of them in my future career path, or I can use them both to complement one another. And so I end up having a large understanding of the Middle East as it relates to international relations and politics between nations. I hope that makes sense.
I see.
Liz, would you like to add anything?
I think that Ryan explained it very well. It's basically you can either have two things that complement each other. You can either have just one thing that maybe you want your career to be for, and another thing that you're just really interested in and you want to take a lot of classes on. It doesn't really matter. It's just two things that you're very committed to, and if you take enough classes, then it counts as a double major. So, yeah.
But for sure, if you have a double major, you have two different options in front of you. If you cannot be a psychologist, you can look for a job to teach philosophy, for example. Somebody who is majoring in both psychology and philosophy would have a better chance of getting the job because of the expertise that that candidate is bringing into the workforce, right? Because somebody whose major is in political science only might not have any good knowledge about the Middle East. But if somebody is majoring in political science, plus international relations, plus Middle Eastern studies, very probably that person will get a better opportunity to get the job, because that person obviously knows a lot of things, and they are interrelated. Okay, any other question, guys?
I wanna ask, uh, is that means that you are not satisfied with your first major, so you take double major or then three major? Is that right?
The connection was not good. Did you get it, Ryan?
If you're not satisfied with your major, then you can always just not finish the major. You can just change it, I guess, right? So if you like decide halfway down the road that you don't like, if Liz decides she didn't want to be a psychologist, she can just say, I don't want to study psychology. I will not finish this major. I will not take all these classes on it. And she can stop at any point. And she can continue with her philosophy if she wants. Or if she has enough time left in her college career, she can potentially take up another major and try something else with her life. It's not necessarily you take a double major because you become dissatisfied with your major, but you can, hypothetically. Or you can just drop the major you were originally doing in the first place.
Liz?
I agree with everything that Ryan said. There's nothing that says that you have to complete your major if you figure out that it's something that you're not interested in anymore. It's not like the college will make you finish it once you've declared. You can switch, or, I mean, if you're really not sure what kind of job you would like to have, then you can double major. And like you were saying, Professor, you can have the option to go either way with your career.
Okay, and then how to make sure that you can arrange your time to make your score good at two major that you take.
Okay, Ryan, how to make sure that you will get good grade in the majors that you are taking?
Well, it requires a lot of studying, obviously. So you have to be able to self-discipline yourself. You can't just waste your time all day. You have to make sure that you
reserve some time in your day, like a few hours here and there, where you have to get serious and get down to work. Stop procrastinating. And if you study, if you do your reading, if you pay attention in class, if you go to class, then you should be well prepared to get good grades, get good points, and you should do well in college. And you should be able to get your major without any problem.
Liz?
I agree, and I also think that if there's ever something that you're really struggling on, like if you're in class and there's a topic that's being taught and you just really don't understand it, you could always reach out to your professor, and they host what is called office hours. So that's a specific time that they have set out in their day that students can come in and talk to them. So you can always ask and say, I really didn't understand what was going on in class today. Can you help me understand it so then I know for the future, like if there's a test or something, you don't have to always be struggling with that subject. There's always help that you can get. There's tutors that you can go to during the night that can help you with your homework, or yeah, there's a bunch of different options that can assure you that you will have the grade that you would like.
Okay, I'm sure you have more questions, guys, for Liz and Ryan, but we passed the allocated time that we agreed on, and I would like to thank to Liz and to Ryan for their time, and I would like to thank everybody for participating in this program. We'll continue the conversation, of course. We would welcome Liz, Ryan, and everybody else to join the conversation in the future. And again, thank you all. And I know Liz and Ryan have to study hard so that they are going to have final exams very shortly. And so that by their study, they will have good grades. Okay, guys, thank you again, and I will see you in the next meeting, inshallah. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi
Good night.
Good night.
Good day. Bye.